Hello and welcome, I am Arumba, thank you for joining me. Let's play Hearts of Iron 4. It's finally here, thank God. It's been like 6 months, 6 quarters even. It's a year and a half that we've been waiting. It's been a year since I played this game last at the Hearts of Iron 4 developer multiplayer event held in Windsor last June of 2015. The game has changed a lot since then. We're going to be playing in the 1936 start, the early start, so we can do a little bit more planning, the coming storm, gathering storm. And of course, we're going to be playing as Hitler, because we're Hitler. Like we're literally Hitler. And the whole point and whole goal of this campaign is to just win. We're just going to win World War II. And in fact, that's pretty much the title of the campaign is Hitler Wins. So, I know this is possible because we streamed yesterday, and we won. So that was with no experience at all. And I think we can do it again. Now, I want to preface the whole campaign by letting people know that I am not an expert at this game. I never played Hearts of Iron 3 more than like 20 to 60 minutes at a time on stream for fun. And there's going to be a lot of things that you may think that I don't do right. But hey, guess what? The game's brand new. So nobody knows yet what the exact right way to do things is. So let's just have some fun, okay? So keep the comments positive, please. It will mean a lot to me. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create a... We have three panzers. Panzer. We're going to create a division, an army, with a single dude. We're going to put in charge a commander named Field Marshal Gunther von Klug. Or... yeah, sure, that guy. And the thing about the Field Marshal is he can have as many troops underneath him as he wants. And he is going to be our training guy. So we're going to set up a garrison area in a region called this one here. And we're going to just garrison our troops right into this area here. And that's going to be where we train all of our stuff. So that is going to be fine. Next, let's escape from that. We want our panzers to be group 2, I think, because they're awesome. Let's find our panzer division leader. We want to sort by skill. And we're looking for a panzer leader. Someone who's got armor. Armor division attack, armor speed. It's pretty good. Fort attack. Yeah, this guy's got a bunch of extra stuff, so by all means, Erich von Manstein, you will be the panzer division leader. Now, these panzers are fully trained, right? They're considered regulars. They have a 25% bonus to their combat experience. In fact, all of our units start off with this combat experience. So, we're going to grab our guys. We're just going to say everyone that's not currently in a group can become part of a new army, which is 22 regiments strong, and we're going to put them in charge based on skill, reconnaissance, and we've got a lot of armor division leaders. Out of supply, minus 50, a lot of armor. It's just all armor. So we'll just take this guy, sure. He's level 4, so he'll give some bonuses. The level 4 bonus gives an attack and a defense bonus of 20%, which is pretty good. And then, since there's not going to be a war, right? So, like, you'd like to think at the beginning of the game you're supposed to protect all your borders. It doesn't really matter. There's really not going to be anything that's going to happen. So we're just going to create a line over here, and we're going to tell them to go garrison that area, and they will all go do that. So that's fine. Next, we need to start going through some of these alerts and getting things going. But the very first thing we're going to do... and I hope that it works out the way that it did the last time I played, is we're going to immediately start boosting fascism in the United States. Because it's hilarious to me to think that in, say, 4 years maybe, right around the time of World War II, that there may be a fascist coup happening in the United States. That would be hilarious, so we're going to go for that. Next up, we need to set up our research. Since we're the Germans, we get tons of research slots, which is kind of unfair, but fine. So we're going to go for, like, research time is a no-brainer, I think. We're going to go for some industry. Production efficiency cap is very good. We're going to go for construction speed, very good. And that is about it. We're going to want to eventually get some synthetic oil. They did change things a lot since the last time I played. Normally, I would probably want to go into some land doctrine stuff, but the very first national focus we're going to take is going to give us reductions on the amount of time it takes to research these. So instead, we're going to knock out something basic like support weapons 1. It's just a good thing to have, and we want to have it now. We have free civilian factories. So if you're completely unfamiliar with Hearts of Iron 4, you have no concept whatsoever of how this works, there's 2 different factory types. We've got factories that do, they build military units, and then we got factories that do civilian units. And they also build your infrastructure and stuff. And they also are responsible for trade. So there is that. First thing we want to do is get our trade situation organized, but also we want to build some factories. Now, I'm not going to build any civilian factories, and this may be a mistake, but they cost more for us than they do military factories, and we have plenty of resources, and I think we just want more military factories. I think we want to just be as militant as possible. We are Germany after all, so we're going to queue up a bunch of factories over here, a little bit of ways away from Great Britain and France, because we want to try to avoid their bombing. And we're going to queue those up. Then we're going to go to free military factories, and you'll see here we've got 20 out of 40 of our factories are currently active. And one thing that they've changed that I love is that you can actually filter out the different categories now. So if you only want to see your other ship types, submarines, that kind of thing, then you can see those things. Now right now this thing is queued up just one of these ships. Or is it 11? Can't tell. No, it's just, yeah, we're making 4, 8, and 1. So 1 heavy cruiser, that kind of thing in 6 months. I think, let's see. I think we want more than that. So let's queue up like a few extra. Like, I don't want these to stop. I want to keep on making ships. We're also making airplanes. We're making some fighters, close air support, and tactical bombers, but we've only got 1 factory each dedicated to those things. For now, that's fine. We've got 2 factories dedicated to making Panzer IIs, which are actually still very, very good. And then we've got a bunch of factories dedicated towards making infantry equipment, support equipment. We don't quite have the resources to make enough Opel Blitz. The motorized, we're lacking oil and rubber, it looks like. But we also got 20 more factories to assign. So we need to decide what we're going to build and what it's going to take. So our free dockyards. First off, let's get our free dockyards assigned. We're using 9 out of 10. Let's put one more on the submarines. I think submarines are cool. I like subs. No divisions are currently in basic training. This is where we can design divisions. We're going to start off by making a bunch of just regular plain old infantry. They require artillery, a little bit of infantry, a little bit of support equipment. Or we could make the cavalry, which is less stuff. It's cavalry, but it's kind of not, right? Like, cavalry is different. It's still just light infantry equipment. And then this thing, the Mountain Brigade, they're slightly different as well. They've got bonuses to attack in hills and mountains and stuff. So those are good. Mountaineers. Wouldn't be a bad idea to have a few of those. Let's see. My grand plan is to follow the general path of the German history, right? We're going to do Anschluss. We're going to try to take over parts of Poland. We're going to prompt World War II when it's time. And we're just going to try to circumvent the Maginot Line by going around through the Netherlands or through Italy. And then somehow we need to find a way to beachhead into the UK so that we can actually get him to capitulate and end the war. Now, the SS division also takes a lot of motorized, but it's very fast. If you compare them, the speed, 12 kph on the motorized division versus regular infantry is only 4 kph. Obviously, motorized vehicles are going to be quicker. Panzers are also 12 kph, which is pretty good. They have some motorized infantry included as well. But let's just start off with some basic infantry. So we're going to train those. We're going to specify a location where we want them to deploy. We'll say Brandenburg. And then we're going to click this little button right here, and we're going to assign them to this guy. Notice how that turned his color? That means that any new infantry are going to be automatically assigned to this guy, and this guy we're going to rename. This guy's army, we're going to rename, instead of Army 1, this is boot camp. This is where we train new dudes. So as soon as we get new guys, they will go into boot camp, and that's where we're going to train them. So, back to production. We have, let's do like 10 lines of infantry. Let's check our logistics. We have a shortfall of quite a bit of infantry equipment, and then let's just use our 20 extra factories for towed artillery, support equipment, and infantry equipment for now. So we will go here. We will go to to this, and we will max out that. We will add one more line of infantry equipment. We'll bump it to the top because it is very high priority. So we just doubled our infantry equipment production. We also needed more support equipment. Let's go to like here. And we've got 6 more factories available. Let's go like 4 here, and then maybe 2 more here. And towed artillery was the other thing that we needed. You know what? Actually, let's go back a little bit less support equipment, a little bit more towed artillery. So that maxes out our military factories. And now we have insufficient resources, so we're lacking oil and rubber. So now we need to find somebody to trade with. So when we go to our production screen, we can see we've got negative 16 oil available. So let's find out someone who has oil that we have decent influence with. This is Venezuela. There's the Soviet Union. I'm going to trade with the Soviets because I feel like we want to be friends with them for a while. So we're going to go ahead and click on them. And we want your oil. They've added this new button, which is fantastic. It's just going to automatically trade away 2 civilian factories for 16 oil. Awesome. Good, good. There goes our oil shortage. Next, we go back, and we need to trade away for some rubber as well. Rubber, sort by influence. We could trade with France. Hey, France, we had nothing wrong with France for now. So by all means, France, give me some rubber, whatever it was that I needed. This will go away then tomorrow. And our very first national focus then is going to be not Rhineland, because I don't want to remilitarize the Rhineland just yet, although the political party is nice. I kind of want to do the treaty with the USSR because I want to work toward the Panzer III, but we might not need that, so never mind. Let's do Rhineland. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's give it a go. We'll plan speed 4 for the most part, and I'm going to warn you that the first number of episodes of this campaign are going to take time, because we're literally like 4 years away from World War II. There's going to be a lot of planning, a lot of preparation, and stuff's just, it's going to take time before it's time to do anything. So we've got 22 divisions on the, who are you again? The Netherlands, on the Netherlands border. And this little indicator here says he feels pretty confident. He's capable of, yeah, he feels good. We're stronger. We're stronger than they are. Now, we've created a line. The Netherlands actually comes down into here. Notice how they're not actually protecting into here? That's because this is the Rhineland. This is the demilitarized zone. And that's actually what our national focus is right now, is to remilitarize the Rhineland, which is an act of aggression, which is going to raise world tension, which is interesting. We could adjust this by holding the Alt key and then dragging to here just to say, like, for sure, like, hey, I don't want you to actually worry about that. But they automatically do it on their own. But that does, interestingly, change how they deploy. Notice how they're deploying a little bit more now to the north, which is interesting. Now, what we can also do is we can give them a plan. We can say, hey, if we were to go to war, I want you to attack to here, and then I want you to attack to here, like this. And then I would want you to attack down to the end. Interestingly, you can actually include countries that aren't even involved in the war, which is kind of interesting. Or can you not? Maybe I'm crazy. It's split the army. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's delete some of these orders. See if we can get this. I'm still learning, actually, how to use right-click and drag to draw an offensive line on this territory. Escape while drawing. Tab while drawing to cycle connections. Okay. So we want to connect from there. So yes, 22 divisions would move to this line, and then to this line, and then to that line. There we go. So 22, 22, 22, 22. Now, we're never going to implement this plan, but that is how you would establish a plan. And why is a plan important? Well, because your armies, once they reach their line of defense, they build up an entrenchment bonus, and then they also build up a plan preparation bonus, 3.5% per day for us, because we are pretty good at building up. We're blitzkrieg, right? You know, we're fast. We're good at it. We're very good at building up quick plans. So we want them to have this planning bonus because this is a 50% combat bonus. And even again, we're not going to use it. It's 4 years away from actual combat, but you know, it's worth noting that is how that works. Now, we're not going to deploy any of these units. They'll auto deploy once they reach full training. They're going to come out not green. There's basically 3 ways to deploy your troops. You can deploy them as soon as they're 20% trained, and then they're green, and they have a 25% combat penalty. Or you can deploy them as regular troops, which will be 100% combat efficiency. Or you can go one step further, which is what I like to do, which is where you actually do train them, and you can train them up to experienced, which is where they will have that 25% bonus, the regulars. That costs you components, it costs you resources to do so. But I feel like a 25% combat bonus is well worth it. The Panzers are just hanging out because he's a Panzer. And then other than that, like, there's not that much to do right now. We're just waiting for Rhineland to complete. We're waiting for some of our political power to come up. We are spending 0.25 to boost the ideology in the United States. It's expensive. The Rhineland is also costing us -1. Rhineland. I don't see a modifier for it. I think it's just one of the side effects to being Hitler. But yeah, we want to get rid of that, like, right away. So, remilitarize the island. It'll also give us 120 instantaneous political power and some army experience. World tension will go up by 2, but then that will start to drift down. So actually, the earlier you do that, the better. We have a free military factory, so one of our factories just got complete, which is wonderful. That would be our 13 civilian factories, knocking out more military factories for us. So let's see how we're doing on production. We have a 14-day shortage on towed artillery, 52-day shortage on infantry equipment, and a 26-day shortage on support equipment. So I think we need a little bit more infantry equipment. So we'll go back to... I'm still learning my shortcut keys. We'll add that factory there. Now, if we wanted to start picking on people before the actual World War II, we could do it. And the way that we would do that is we would just immediately start fabricating and justifying a war goal on somebody. It would take 250 days, 50 political power, and so, like, within 1 year we could just, like, go attack Denmark, for example, just because we want to. And I'm kind of curious just how good of an idea that might be. Like, I definitely hate Belgium with a passion, and I want to avoid the Maginot Line. For those of you who are unaware, the Maginot Line is this level 10 fort. This building inflicts an attack penalty of 15% for each fort level on the attacker in combat, and it's level 10, so negative 150% attack penalty on every single state or province in this entire line against the German border. So trying to attack the French directly sucks. It's so bad. Like, you cannot do it. There are actual national decisions to try to avoid... It's around the Maginot. It just gives you a reason to go attack Belgium and Luxembourg and the Netherlands, just so you can get around the Maginot Line. We could do that instead by trying to justify a war goal against this guy. And I think we go for it, actually. I think we do, and we just see if this maybe will help us out. We remilitarize the Rhineland, and then we deploy all of our troops on the Belgian border, and we try to take over Belgium so that we have an immediate access route to Paris, should we end up at war with France. That seems like a pretty good and opportunistic goal for me. The remilitarization of the Rhineland. Germany has stationed troops in the Rhineland territory close to the French border in clear violation of the Treaty of Versailles. The local population cheered the German soldiers on, while the diplomatic reaction from France and Britain so far has been muted. It is no more than Germans walking into their own backyard, a political commentator in Britain observed. It is German territory, after all. So, we gained a bunch of political power, which is great. We also, I think, lost that -1 penalty, which is wonderful. We could try to do Anschluss, which is where we get Austria to join us, which we definitely want to do. We could do the Anti-Comintern Pact, which is where we say, hey, we don't like... I think this says we don't like the Soviet Union. I don't think we want to do that. We want to be friends with the Soviets for now. We could also do, like, the Autobahn. We could try to get some infrastructure. We have time. We need to deploy more troops before we can do Anschluss. We could try to befriend Japan earlier. Defending Japan is the right way to go, I think, over China. Japan is fascist, so we want them to be on our side. And that is going to be the way to go. But, you know, getting these land forts on the French border and then maybe getting these extra civilian factories down this route. I think there's time to fit all of this in, so let's go ahead and do the Autobahn. And kind of go from there. We can modify our government. Okay, so now that we have those extra political points from doing that... Oh, okay, no, it wasn't the Reichs reform that was costing us points. It was... Or sorry, the Rhineland. It was just because we're doing Reichs Autobahn. Every time you choose one, apparently it costs you political power. That's fine. So, that is fine. I remember in the previous version of the game that I played, like, if you were at war, it cost you twice as long to do. Apparently they've changed it now, and it just costs political power to do these things. So the first thing we're going to want to do is... let's see. What did we gain from Rhineland? I want to do army innovations. Okay, so for now we're going to hire a silent workforce. We're going to get more political power gain. Just stack these guys up. I think the sooner we get them, the better. So we're getting 2 points per day, which means that in 75 days we can hire, or actually less, 50 days we can hire the other silent workforce. And then maybe we even hire the Prince of Terror, or something, I don't know. Foreign subversive activities efficiency. Sounds pretty good. I don't think we have to worry about fascism losing support, considering we don't have elections. There are no elections. We're just Germany. We're just Hitler, okay? So yeah, we're spending points fabricating on, or are we? I think we spent those points up front. We're hoping to get this done before anyone can guarantee Belgium, so we can just attack Belgium. Let's go ahead and relocate this army then. We'll just right-click, cancel all of their orders, and we will take army number 2, and we're going to put them on this border here, and then we're going to tell them that, hey, you would move to here, and then you would move to here, and then you would move all the way to here. And that's going to have to do it for the first episode. I know not a lot has happened yet. Also, there's something else that I want to do, which is I want to tell my navies all of my ports are going to go to here. That's our largest port. That's just where I want all new ships to go to. That way we don't have to keep on manually consolidating them in as they get completed. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up here. Let me know what your thoughts are. It's a brand new series. If you want to show your support, feel free to click the like button, leave a comment, do all that stuff. Go ahead, tell me I'm doing it all wrong. I don't care. I am happy to have your comments. So I'm looking forward to this campaign. We're going to win. Hitler's going to win. World War II. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you again in the next episode. See you soon.